this is the pastel project. You can use either oil pastels or chalk pastels for this and construction paper. And first I'm going to start with a simple drawing. You draw a line down the center, a line across, and there you have your 4 squares. And the top 2 squares will be in the upper portion, a cloud. So I'm going to draw a cloud through here and here quickly. Okay, and then I'm going to do a background of hills here. And another hill here. And I'm venturing into square 3 and 4 with another hill here. And then a horizontal line on the lower 1/4 of the paper. And there you have the hills, the sky, and now I'm going to do kind of a Z shape to keep the eye moving through here. All right, now I'll put in the details in. The details are just some areas that will be filled with trees, and there's some individual trees here in square 1 and 2. Put a line here, and now another tree in the next hill, a tree here. I'll put a little tree here. So I randomly put these little bushes that stand out through on top of each hill. Okay, and then down on the horizontal line I'm going to draw like cloud shapes for trees. 1, 2, 3. And then there's a big bush or grouping of trees here. Very simple drawing, and another tree here. And for the trunks, I just do the letter Y on those 3 trees. And down at the foreground, I will make indication for grass just by using some scribbly grass marks. All right, so there's the drawing. Oh, I forgot to put in the plow lines. These are vineyards, are probably in California. It's a nice picture. So whenever while I'm drawing, I'll talk about pastels. In pastels, when you're working with kids, you want to start with your lightest pastel and move to your darkest. So the first thing I'm going to do is the underpainting for this particular project. And I'll start with putting white and blue into the sky and then yellow all down here. So, do I have time to do another? Let me get started. We may have to stop, but you start with your lightest. I'll start with my white and blue, because if you're working up and down, you gotta, when the children are working, they have to work at the top and work their way down, or they will take all the chalk with them onto their sleeves. So I'm working with these 3 colors, light blue, white, and dark blue for the 3 value system. I start out with a white, and I colored clouds in. Now you do the same thing with oil pastel. It's no different. It's just I'm using chalk pastel because it's easier to apply for the camera. Okay, let me look at the picture here. Then I want to put some dark areas where I think that it would be darker underneath in some of these clouds. Down here. Just scribble it in, because you can do a lot of it with blending. Now with oil pastels you can't, but with chalk pastels you can blend a lot to smooth everything around. I wouldn't do that with oil pastels. Let's see, this comes down here more. Okay. Then a light blue. I'm just massing it in quickly. And then you can do this if you want. Now with, like I said, with the oil pastels, you don't need to do this. They blend themselves once you lay color on top of color. And with oil pastels, you can wipe the kids' hands off with, or they can wipe their hands off with baby wipes. some more. Then I'll punch the white back out again. Because I want some of those white fluffy clouds showing. There's one up here, here, and here. Maybe a little bit down here. Okay, so there's your sky, and then you start with the hills and the background and foreground with your lightest yellow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lay in the yellow. I think I'll take a kind of a brownish yellow, or whatever you have that looks more like an earth tone yellow, and just mass it in real lightly. I may put some in the trees too. So I'm just massing in this color. With charcoal, this is, chalk pastel, this is easier because you can see the lines. All right, so there is my underpainting for the background and middle ground and foreground. All right, next you go to your middle values, and I'm going to have to look at this picture. So I have my underpainting. Now I'm going to start, this is the picture. I want to start going to the middle tones. So I'm going to go to the middle tones in my greens. I think I'll just skip over the green. So I'm going to get a dark green, a light green, and a middle green. Okay, let's see if this is what I want. These three. So I'm just going to color my shrubs with the lightest green here, lightest green here, lightest green here, light green coming down on those hills because there's trees on those back hills that cover it. And some light green here, light green here. Do the same with oil pastels. Once again, it's the same technique without the blending. Going as fast as I can. One thing about pastels is they're very, very forgiving. Wonderful medium to work with without getting your hands too dirty, except for chalk pastels. But okay, so let's go to the next section where I start adding more values.